I want you to listen to this without defending yourself. No protecting of yourself. If you're not earning what you know you're capable of earning, it's not because there's something missing within you. It's not because of lack of strategy. It's not because you don't have the intelligence. And it's not because the market is saturated. It is because your identity is calibrated at such a lower level compared to how you want to live. And until that identity changes, you're going to circle the same number every year. It's going to be like you're living the same year for 50 years and calling it a life. It doesn't matter the month on the calendar. It is the same ceiling, same strategy, same result. Today, I'm going to break down the two identities, the one that keeps you broke and the one that makes you rich. And I promise you, once you see this, you're never going to unsee it. Your income right now, whether it's at $90,000 a year, $250,000 a year, $600,000 a year, or even $1.2 million is not random. You are earning it. It is exactly how your identity is programmed. It is a direct reflection of the internal identity that you're most loyal to. It's that internal identity that you're operating from. I'm not saying that to motivate you. I'm saying it because I lived it. For 3 years, I had every strategy in the book. I had the work ethic. I had the drive. I had the information. What I didn't have was the results. Why? Because I was trying to change something outside without changing something inside. And you know what happened? Nothing changed. Because I was trying to build a wealthy life on top of a broke identity. And you can't do that. Wealth does not respond to potential. It responds to identity. Wealth always follows our identity. Identity determines how fast you decide, how much pressure you can hold, how visible you are willing to be, how much responsibility you're willing to carry, and how much money is just natural for you. It's just normal to you. That last one, normalizing wealth, is going to change everything for you today. So if $300,000 a year feels normal to you, you're going to sabotage anything above it no matter how motivated you are, every single time. And you won't even know you're doing it. Your identity functions like a thermostat in your home. If it's set at 300,000, you might spike to 600 once a decade, and then you're going to come back. You might have a great quarter, but you're always going to return to the baseline because identity pulls you back to what is normal. It always does. You set your home thermostat to 72 degrees, and if it hits 80, it's going to cool down. If it drops to 60, guess what? It's going to heat up. It always returns to the set point. Your identity works the exact same way regarding income. And that set point, it was installed inside of you. Most of the time by somebody else. Most of the time unconsciously. By people who didn't have the results you wanted. By experiences you didn't choose. By environments you didn't design. So right now, there's a number in your head that is normal to you. It feels realistic. Not what you want, but what feels safe. Even though it is not how you want to live. That number is your thermostat. The plateaus, the cycles, the frustration. It's not a market problem, it's an identity problem. Your results are telling you about your relationship with yourself, how you see yourself on a deep subconscious level, because our identity is the most accurate picture of how we really see ourselves. In order for that to change, wealth must feel normal internally, or it will not stay externally. It will not change in terms of results. I want you to burn that in your mind, but I want it so deep in your consciousness that you now know that it's in my control. Now, I want to dissect the identity that keeps people capped. And I'm going to be direct here. Broke does not mean zero money. Broke means you're capped. It means you're circling in the fulfilling cycle of doom, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings, taking the same actions, but getting the same results. Broke means stuck. There was a time in my life where I had to draw the line, where I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was broke by the characteristics I just gave you, but you've got to understand, being sick and tired of being sick and tired is right before a breakthrough. Now, some of you are earning 6 figures and operating from a broke identity right now. I get it. I was earning low 6 figures, but I was working with a broken identity. The broken identity is built on protection. Protection from being wrong. Protection from making mistakes. Protections from avoiding failure. Protections from not embracing the suck. Because we have got to be willing to fail in order to win. Protection from losing money. protection from being judged, protecting from failing time and time again. But really, the greatest protection is from becoming who you really want to be. So it hesitates, it delays, and it overthinks. And overthinking is always the death of our dreams. I just need clarity, you say. I just need the right time. I just need more information. Lie, lie, lie. That's how the old identity comes and talks you out of living your best version of yourself, living your best life. And it gets you to stop thinking about how you really want to live. Most people are not living how they want to live. They're living based on comfort. They're living because they're doing better than most. Most of the time, that is fear wearing sophistication. No, I'm just being logical. Kill logic. Logic is what kills your dreams. The broke identity needs certainty before commitment. Now, let that sit in. Now, here's the thing I want you to look at. Look at this hourglass. Now, we don't know how much time we have in this hourglass. And the biggest fallacy is, I'm going to do it when I get ready. You're never going to be ready until you do a thing. Now, there's no guarantees in life. That's why we have to seize the moment. The greatest source of wealth is time. Like, we're never going to get this moment back. And I always, when I'm speaking in my seminars, I always tell people, I'll give you a great idea. Today is the worst we're ever going to be, because we're going to keep getting better, because the people I train get better and better and better and better. They're not chasing results. Results are chasing them. Why? Because I transfer them from a broke identity to a wealth identity. The broke identity needs certainty before commitment. Show me the guarantee and then I'll move. I'll show you someone who never moves. But the wealthy identity creates certainty through commitment. I used to think I was undisciplined. I was never undisciplined. I just wasn't committed. Discipline always follows commitment, and discipline is a prequel to creating financial freedom. The broke identity wants emotional safety. It avoids uncomfortable conversation. It avoids risk. It avoids really putting yourself on the line. Because when you put yourself on the line, that requires visibility. And visibility means you're going to be the first to be judged. And it would rather be safe and invisible than visible and growing. Understand this, we're either growing or we're dying. It's never neutral. Here's one of the things that hits hardest. The broke identity always leaves the back door open. Half commitment, half in, half out, half execution, half investment. Because ego wants protection, and we're going to kill your ego off. And ego protects against killing scale. I used to live this way, so I'm a great example of what not to do and what to do now. See, I was always coachable to my comfort zone. I would do anything if it was gathering information, but that's why I was losing. And then everything changed when I had a mentor who told me, you've got to do exactly what I tell you to do. Well, years later, we were speaking, my mentor and I, Bob Proctor, and he said, why do you think you really did what I told you? I said, because I was losing so bad, and you told me, borrow my belief and just do exactly what I tell you. Well, I went from being uncoachable to being coachable regardless of my comfort zone. Anything that used to stretch me, I would not do it. Well, that's why I was losing. And I want you to learn both from the winning that I'm doing now in my life compared to the losing that I was losing over and over year after year, regardless of how hard I worked. See, you can have a 7-figure strategy, an 8-figure strategy, but what is it going to matter if you have a 5-figure identity? The identity wins all the time, every time. And let's talk about mid 6 figures, 250 to 500,000 a year. This is a very dangerous zone because it's comfortable. You have proof that I'm successful compared to most. You have skill, you have a certain level of success, and that success becomes the trap. And trust me, I know, because I mentor people anywhere from earning $50,000 a year to $100 million companies. And the success that is the biggest trap is the one that causes you to still hesitate. You negotiate with yourself. You still react emotionally when revenue dips. You're either up or you're down. You're either excited or you're depressed. And you call it strategy. It is protection against breaking through. 7 figures requires something different. You've got to be relentless with getting better. And the only thing you have to focus on getting better is yourself. And then you're going to start doing everything with speed. Money loves speed. And I mean decisive speed. When you get an idea, you act on it right away. It will require emotional regulation under chaos. When everything's going the wrong way, you're still calm as a cucumber. It requires non-negotiable standards every single day. And comfort being misunderstood. Look, if you're going to earn 7 figures, if you're going to be in the top 1%, you're going to have to be comfortable being misunderstood. But the broke identity is driven by ego. It needs approval. The wealthy identity is obsessed with alignment. It's obsessed with doing what you love, what really feeds your heart, your soul. Those are two different operating systems. So what does the wealthy identity actually look like? It's not louder, it's actually quieter. It's not flashier, it's stable. It normalizes it. I want you to look at your present results right now. I want your future results to be just as normal as your present results. Your present results, it just is. Well, let's say you're earning $250,000 a year and you want to earn $1 million. I want you to treat the $1 million like you do, but in order to do that, you've got to decide right now with me, this is exactly what I'm creating. I'm creating a life of freedom, doing what I love and loving what I'm doing. You decide, and decision is death of everything opposite. And you watch how fast you're going to start automatically moving. Everything that is identity-based is automatic. It will be harder for you not to do than to do. And you know what follows? The most amazing confidence. And I'm talking relentless confidence. You walk in a room, your vibration is going to impact the room. Action is your best friend. Action is what creates movement. Action creates clarity. Everyday action is the most important thing that you and I get rewarded for. Waiting creates doubt, and doubt is going to kill your dreams. Second, it asks, who must I become to make this inevitable? Not what if this fails. First of all, let's talk about failing. In order to win, you got to be willing to fail. But I don't want you to ever entertain failing as a possibility. I never entertain failing as a possibility, and I haven't done that for 19 years. I want you to expect to win because your behaviors always follow your expectation. Third, it expects pressure, but pressure is a privilege, as Billie Jean King said. Pressure is the weight of the next level. I get to do this. Not what if this doesn't work, not I have to do this. And fourth, it makes your personal growth sacred. You have to make your personal growth a badge of honor. Like, I get to study myself every day. Not optional, but sacred. That's where the winners live. They are constantly being rewarded where nobody watches how much they study in private. It's not optional, it is sacred. And fifth, it is obsessed. I'm talking about obsession of getting better. Obsession of working on bigger ideas. Obsession of building your self-esteem. Not with money, but with standard. And standards are rare. That's why people with great standards, they shine. They get rewarded at the highest income level. And there's 3 different types of people. There's interested, there's committed, and there's obsessed. Obsession is where transformation lives. Now, interested is people that are doing what's convenient. Committed feels good. Why? Because you are such an outlier to most of the people. Obsessed pays good. Obsessed is where you're going to have the best experiences. Obsession is where your transformation lives. Now, here's where most people fail. They try to gradually ease into a new identity. It's not going to happen. You've got to feel that discomfort and go. Feel it and move. You cannot negotiate in an old, outdated identity. I want you to kill off that old self. You have to kill it off every day, every day, every day. Well, how do you kill it off? We only focus on making every decision from your future self. The old self created your current results. If you want different results, you must detach from that old emotional state. You don't need it anymore. Every time it tries to bring you down, I want you to say, I'm not interested in that anymore. I have outgrown you, and it is safe where I'm going. Now, there's 3 steps every morning. Step 1, operate from your future self. If I was already at $1 million, how would I act today? How fast would my decisions be? What would I stop tolerating? And then you move. You act from that identity right away. It is not good enough just to say it. You've got to do one thing that causes you to act. Step 2, install through 3 channels: thinking, emotion, and behavior. Thinking plus emotion plus action, game over. All 3 every day. Now, step 3, raise your standards permanently. Everything that is not aligned with your standards, it is a hard no, especially if it's uncomfortable. That's when you're going to shift your identity in that moment. Your life will never exceed your standards, and your standards are always who you are on your worst days. When you have a bad day, you still hold the standards because you never rise to your dreams. You always follow to your standards. So what are you done tolerating? I want you to name it. I'm done procrastinating. I'm done with that. Name it. And now you always take action right away, because what's the opposite of procrastination is do it now. And you hold that. From now on, over the next 30, 60, 90 days, you're not tolerating procrastination. Now understand this. Wealth has an identity cost. Everything has a cost. And we're either choosing and paying the cost to stay the same or paying the cost to create a world-class life. It's your choice. It's my choice. You're going to outgrow people. You will stop explaining yourself. You will make unpopular decisions. You will disrupt comfort in other people because of your growth, but it is worth it. See, most people want wealth. Few want the weight. What is the weight? The weight is disturbing comfort. So how do you survive the pullback? Evidence. Evidence will always tell you what direction you're going. So I want you to create a wins journal. Start documenting every win. It's the little wins compounded over time that are going to keep stacking and create enormous wins. Every faster decision is a win. Every standard held is a win. Every income shift is more evidence that you're just getting started, because the best is yet to come. Because that old voice will come back. That's your villain voice. You don't give it any energy. Every time it comes back, I want you to say, I'm not interested in that conversation, and then get back to your goal. Literally say your goal right away. And when it does, you pull out the proof. This is a strategic identity reinforcement. You are building a case file for your future self. Now, let me ask you directly. Are you trying to get rich, or are you becoming someone who cannot help but produce wealth? The second part is who I want you to become. One chases outcome, the other upgrades identity. No strategy can save a small operator. No obstacle can stop a powerful one. Earlier in this video, I gave you a nugget, but I'm going to re-give it to you because maybe you didn't pick up on it. Most people do not stretch their goals big enough. And when you don't do that, you don't have to change how you operate. That's why people are repeating the same plateau year after year. But when you stretch, it's going to cause you to be someone new. When you stretch, you're going to have to decide, this is no longer acceptable for me. I want you to decide who you are, who you're becoming, and I want you to sprint to it. I want you to be relentless about letting your vision drive you. And you watch, the income will follow. Now drop a comment right now. Which identity pattern do you see in yourself? Fear wearing, what if it doesn't work? Half commitments? Needing certainty before movement, you need guarantees? Coachable only to your comfort zone? Name it. Awareness is step one. It demands radical honesty for us to break free. And if you're still here, you're not interested, you're ready, you're committed, you're obsessed. And if this hits different, I want you to subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because I'm putting fabulous content on here and you want to watch this video every single day. And the reason, it's the repetition that is going to change your programming. It's the repetition that is going to change your identity. This channel is not motivation, it's identity architecture. Now listen, everything today was a framework. Everything in our life is a framework. But a framework without execution is delusion. So I built something for you. The Millionaire Playbook. Download it. It turns everything we covered into a step-by-step action plan. And remember, action is the most important thing you and I do today. And that action plan is going to be the thermostat, the identity patterns, the Millionaire morning system, and the evidence structure. The link is in the description. Grab it now while this is still burning hot in you. Don't let the broke identity pull you back. Divorce yourself from the old you. Now let me bring this home. You walked into this video operating from one identity. You've already changed because you're still here. Now you see it. The thermostat, the protection patterns, the danger zone, the wealthy standard. That is an identity intervention. The only question now is, are you going to do the work? That's all we have to do. You work the ideas work. Or move on and stay the same. I'll see you on the next video.